Jacob Hayes. Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
So many different vampire shows coming out this year, and vampires are back.
Absolutely.
How is this one going to be different from all of the others for yourself?
I think the main difference is the way I look. Also, our story is not really based in vampirism. It's more of a human journey. And I think that's like the second most important thing. I feel like we're trying to convey a story in which we're not hitting all the vampire tropes. We're actually putting it on its head and teasing it and making fun of it and making it a new modern story for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Neil?
Hi, Jacob. So if I
see you, Reginald the Vampire, I see you.
gotta rep the series. Being Filipino, I know that manananggal are Filipino vampires per se.
Yes, yeah.
Do you get to bring those elements into the series?
Honestly, I feel like things like the aswang, for example, is sort of is more like Filipino lore, and I think that we're trying to like tease it, and I feel like in reverence to like Filipino culture, I don't tease that. But maybe in season 2.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Juan?
Hi, Jacob. So similarly to Neil's question, with my partner is Filipino, and we watched the show Trece, so there's lots of mythology and lore in that show.
Sure.
So with all of the lore and mythology in Filipino culture, are there any creatures from that lore that you hope might make an appearance in future seasons?
It's tough. I would say that they're all pretty much not vampire based, so I would say probably not. But again, the aswang is like a gigantic bat creature, so maybe that aswang man. Yeah.
Thank you.
Jasmine?
And so I feel like Reginald in the show is very much seen as an underdog. Do you consider yourself an underdog in like the acting world?
Oh yeah, I think being a person of color in the industry, obviously we all have sort of that chip on our shoulder, right? We're all sort of already placed in a box, even though we don't know we're placed in a box. So yeah, but I'm not really letting that rule my sort of my career. I would say I know what I'm good at. I know what I have to offer. And I would hope that people do the same because, in the end, it's only you that can do what you want for yourself. So, yeah.
Gig, do you want to go again?
I will. Absolutely. Jacob, one of the things that is so fascinating about the show, especially playing a vampire, is all the blood you get to drink. Could you tell us what a lot of the blood that you do actually drink? And I know some of it is corn syrup. Do you end up at the end of the day sick and tired of corn syrup, and how do you watch?
So there is corn syrup, and then they made this other one made out of kind of like rose water, and they're trying to cut up the monotony of all the gross sugar that you drink. But honestly, it all tastes like shit. And I'm glad that I don't have to do it every day. But on the days when they're like, you have to make sure it's really like a vampire thing, blood all over the place and in your mouth, and you're going crazy, and you're like, well, it's like 2 degrees outside, and it's like sticking to my face, and it's like disgusting. So that's my hardest. I would say that's my hardest. I try to love blood, but I'm so thankful to get it out of my mouth. I'm so thankful to get off my skin. A secret to getting off your skin, by the way, is scrubbing yourself down with shaving cream. That's the one. Yeah, the chemicals in that, and you smell like a fresh shaven beard. I think that's a good time.
Most excellent. Thank you.
Neil?
On the opposite end, the corn syrup, what has been your favorite part of the series?
Oh, my favorite part. It's I would say, a lot of my cast, it was their sort of first time on a show, or their first kind of major part. And so I would say it was a very beautiful process to really watch them learn and grow and work as actors. And then, sort of help them in any way that I could, and sort of be that person for them, because everyone in my career has done the same for me. The sort of passing of the baton to others. And I think it's a very awesome experience you get to enjoy in the industry with other actors who love to act.
Juan?
So Reginald is not your first horror comedy project.
Yeah.
You previously did Bloodfest.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, what are the differences you notice between doing a horror comedy film versus
Yeah.
a show?
Oh gosh, what's the difference? I would say, TV moves really fast, and movies, they take quite a bit of time to make. So I think in that sense, those are two completely different animals. But with Bloodfest, I think we played up a lot of the comedy and the horror. With Reginald, this sort of idea of it being a human story, we base it more in performance. So I think that's the main difference. But it just depends on it. I'm doing a horror movie right now, and it's all scary all the time, and I think that's fucking exhausting. But it's such a fun time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Jasmine, final question.
Yeah, I think a lot in the series, what we've seen is, Reginald being told he can't do something. He's always like proving them wrong.
Yeah.
What do you think audiences can learn from a character like Reginald?
Our main message is, again, just really, you can be the hero of your own story. You don't have to listen to these societal tropes of looking a certain way or being a certain way to win. I think that we all are special in our own way. We all win. We're all the main characters in our own story. And we just have to remember that. We are all special. We are all unique. Don't let society tell you otherwise, because that's pointless and you'll get nowhere in your life.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. You can
All right,
return to
guys.
the main room.
Thank you, Jacob. We all
All
love
right,
you.
guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right. See you guys soon.